Alright, well, we got no game today, but I thought I would share some of my theories with you. Theory based on whether to field a 10-man troop choice or a 20-man troop choice. I've been facing where my troops have been failing their leadership or loyalty tests. I guess it is leadership. Failing their leadership and always running. Of course, if you get below 50% strength, then you can't make another regrouping attempt. Whereas, like with your Space Marines, if you lose 50%, you can still you'd fall back if you fail, but during the next turn, you automatically get to regroup. Our Dark Eldars, of course, don't get that ability. So my strategy is that it's better to run 20 guys and have them picked off little bit by little bit, so you're not forced with having to make that leadership test and being forced to run off the board right away at the beginning of the game. So at least with 20 man, you have a while before you reach your 50 man strength. So when you lose over 50%, you can't make another leadership test for your regroup your next turn. Whereas like the special rule for the Marines allows that. They shall know no fear. Special rule for the Marines allows them to regroup automatically every time they fail their leadership tests as far as for retreat fallback. While a 10-man warrior troop choice allows you to use more special units, either the splinter rifle, splinter cannon, or the dark lance. But I just don't like having to lose my troops on the field right away in the beginning due to if I lose 9 guys out of my 10 and I fail the leadership test, they're just going to keep running right off the board, and they're usually at the beginning you're not more than 6 to 12 inches away from the board edge anyways. So for me, I think it's better to run a full 20-man squad in order to keep the troops on the field longer and not be forced to do the leadership test due to the casualties. So those are my thoughts, whether if a 20-man troop choice is better to run versus a 10-man. And like I said, 10-man troop gets, if you field more 10-man troops, you get more special weapons. But I think out in the field, you face greater chances of retreating and not keeping your units on the field based on that retreating if you lose over 50% of your troop strength. So that's why I think it's best to run max number of troops for anything that you're playing for the Dark Elder, Mandrakes, Scourge, Witches, and troop choices. I think it's best if you have the points, run as many as possible for one troop. But again, that's only going to work for foot slogging players like myself. But yeah, I still think running a 20-man troop out in the field if you're foot slogging is far better versus a 10-man squad. I just like having the numbers, works out better. At least you get 1, maybe 2 chances to regroup before you're below 50% if you fail your leadership test due to loss of 25% rule, or possibly even when being assaulted. If you have 20 guys and you're being attacked by 30 orcs, which I usually play against the most, you might have a possibility of still receiving enough wounds on your opponent that you will be able to make your leadership and still stay in combat. So that's about it. Can't think of anything else, so think it over. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later. Alright, so here's some more. You run so like for a unit of 10 warriors, you get in that selection, you can have 2 units, both having either a shredder or a blaster, which is a sawed-off version of the Dart Lance, or you can have run one of each in one 10-man squad. And then of course you can also either run 2 splinter cannons, 2 Dark Lances, or one of each. So again, for every 10, not for every 10, but for every unit of 10 warriors, you gain those bonuses, those upgrades to purchase. Whereas like for the 20-man squad, it's still the same thing. Even though you have 2 sets of 10, you only get the choice of having those 2 additional upgrades for both types. So a 20-man squad will get 2 shredders or 2 blasters or one of each, or 2 splinter cannons and 2 Dark Lances or one of each for a 20-man. So that's the only advantage of running multiple 10 unit warrior troops, is that you can field more of the specialty weapons than you can for a 20-man warrior troop. And of course the 20-man unit is a little bit more expensive than a 10-man squad, but point wise they'll be, you know, so you can run more of the 10-man squad with the special weapons versus a squad of 20. It all depends on what point scale you're playing. And again, the other benefits of doing a 10-man squad is that you can use vehicles if you're in that type of mindset for your field tactics. Right now I'm still just a foot slogger, so I think the 20-man squad is a far better choice to do, despite the fact that I would get to field fewer specialty weapons on the field because of that fact. But again, like I said, when forced to lose troops while in combat, I want to keep them out on the field as long as possible. So I don't want them to be retreating right away in the beginning of the game. So that's why I like to field a full 20-man squad for warriors, or for any of my troop choices. I like to field as many as possible, for just the fact that I don't want them to be fleeing off the table in combat, shooting or in close combat.